I'm Wade Zaglis from Education Review. Today I'm talking to Aman. Do you think other states and territories should follow Victoria in banning mobile phones in schools? Why not? Are there any advantages, do you think, to keeping them in schools?
I think that just like with any other thing, a mobile phone or any other piece of technology is something that is a tool that can be used. I think at the point in which they are distracting and are not very, very good in terms of class engagement, that is a point in which you can police them. I still think that there is a role for mobile phones to be played, or just technology in general within classes, because they can be used as a tool for kids to learn, for kids to access. It's important that adults engage with the contemporary issues that kids face instead of just shunning that aside. And I think that's important, and I think that you learn to engage with those issues by accepting that they exist, and then by teaching kids how to use them more proactively within school environments in general.
I think that's an important point, just accepting that this technology already exists and there's no going back.
Yeah.
We thought we'd ask Jason here what his thoughts are on the topic. First of all, Jason, should mobile phones be banned nationwide? I mean, do they have any purpose in schools, do you think? Why or why not?
Yeah, look, it's hard. I think probably there is a cause to have some mobile phones in schools at certain times. But obviously, I know now that working in the workforce and having phones on all the time is not necessarily a great thing either. So I think there just needs to be partial bans. Yeah, partial times phones are available and partial times they're not.
Do you think they can be used as learning tools? Like,
yes.
not necessarily always,
They can be.
Yeah,
yes, totally.
Yeah. Because I know when I was a teacher, often they'd be used to photograph, say, something that was on a board. So maybe, do you think the answer could be more training in the use of how to use social media responsibly?
Look, training and boundaries, I'd say.
Training and boundaries.
Yeah, correct.
Today I'm talking with Shannon. And Shannon, we know already that Victoria has introduced a blanket ban on mobile phones in state and primary government schools. Do you think other states and territories should follow this in banning mobile phones in schools? Why not? Do you see any benefits in it, or?
Yeah, look, I see it from two sides. I see it from we're moving forward with technology and with where we're all moving with using smartphones as educational purposes and all that sort of stuff. The other side of it is the social online bullying and all those different avenues. So I would tend to agree with a blanket ban. If it's good for one state, it should be good for all. And it should be controlled nationally and not by each state doing as they choose. And I feel if it's in a controlled environment, there's no reason why they can't introduce the phones progressively throughout the years. They might not have them for the first 5 years, and they might introduce it in their last year of school, or give them some exposure, so then they can put that in their education program, so that they can.
Yeah, well, that's been one of the ideas. Is maybe not in primary school, but maybe in secondary school.
Absolutely,
it. And I guess also, like, cyberbullying programs are important as well. How to navigate social media.
I don't think removing it from them entirely, but I think education's the key to anything.
Yeah.
So if you can educate them on it, then you can show them the do's and don'ts, the good side, and how to use it in a positive way, not in a negative way.
I'm here with Janine to hear her thoughts about it. So, Janine, I know you're from New Zealand, but what are your thoughts on mobile phones being banned in schools? Do they have any point to them, or are they just a distraction?
I have two 16-year-old twins. My experience is they are definitely a distraction. I think schools have a lot of great technology that they can use. It doesn't have to be the mobile phone. That is a lot more engaging.
Yeah. Like your iPads and is that what you get?
Yeah, a lot of schools now are looking at robotics, 3D printing. To me, that plays a far more educational role and more beneficial role than mobile phones. Mobile phones just seem to distract kids. They don't realise how long they're on them for. Their content just absorbs them. So
And do you think that there's been a bit of do you think that they cause more bullying than potentially what used to happen?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely, because you can be faceless.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a tool that makes it easy to be a bully.
Meg, should mobile phones be banned in schools? Why or why not? Do they have their uses or disadvantages?
I don't think mobile phones should be banned necessarily in schools, but I think it is good to limit children's ability to have access to them during class time. So potentially it's okay to have a mobile phone or to be in possession of one, but I don't think that children should be able to just have them on the table and be like Snapchatting or that kind of thing in class.
Sure.
But I think in a structured environment, it is potentially a good learning tool, and the mobile phones these days are so much like tablets that actually I think if they're used in that kind of way, it's a good thing.
So what was your own school experience like? Would your teacher, say, okay, mobile phones are out, we're going to be using them for a particular amount of time, or how did it work?
Well, now currently if we need to Google something or work on a shared document, we're allowed to use our mobile phones, say as our computer, if we don't want to carry a computer around all day. But in my earlier primary school years, we were never allowed access to them. It was only if it was an emergency phone call or that kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are there any kind of cyberbullying lessons going on? Or, like things to do with interacting with social media?
My school had the local police liaison officer come and talk to us about cyber safety and like responsible ways to use social media and that kind of thing. So I think that kind of thing is ingrained within a lot of schools now. People are being quite proactive about that. So yeah.
Sure. Okay, that can only be a good thing.